Alright y'all, let me show you how to make these birria tacos. It's been on the internet for a while. I made these with pulled beef and they're in a nice sauce. Usually what you do is you dip these tacos. Usually made with corn, but I made them with flour. And they're pan fried with cheese and all that good stuff. Check this out. All that goodness. Jeez, these are fire. These are actually real good. Check out my description below for the recipe. So what you want to do is take your beef and give it a nice color on it. So make sure you brown every single piece on all 4 sides. And you want to make sure that when you're doing this, that you're not doing it on too high of a heat. You don't want it to blacken. You don't want no black parts at the bottom. Just nice brown coloring at the bottom of your pan. You're gonna then take an onion. You're gonna slice and dice it up. And you're gonna saute that. What's gonna happen is that the onions are gonna sweat and it's gonna loosen up all the browning pieces at the bottom and it's gonna get nice. This is basically how you start building your flavor. So go ahead and give that a mix a few times. It's gonna start to lift from the bottom. We added in tomato paste, and what's gonna happen is it's gonna start lifting some more and you're gonna get it nice and caramelized. If you find that it's not loosening from the bottom, what you can do is add in a splash of wine. Make sure you take a sip so it tastes nice. And you want to add in your beef stock. This is what's going to build your flavor. Coriander is also going to be put into this. And look at that color. Oh my god, this food is good. So you remember the beef you pan fried earlier? Yeah, that you're going to put it back into the stock. So with this we used beef shanks and a roast cut that we got from Loblaws. You can use any type of beef you want. Oxtail is really good for this. Fattier beefs and beef with bones are going to be good for this too. Now that's nice and simmered, you're going to add in your chilies. We use dried chilies we got from a Spanish market. I'll have the list in the description below. These chilies are a preference though, so pick and choose wisely what kind of chilies you want to use. Keep in mind we use like 3 or 4 different types of chilies, and you're gonna add in bay leaves too, and you let that simmer for an hour. Once that's done, you're gonna take them all out. You're gonna put them in a blender. We're using a Ninja. Every single chili, you're gonna go in there, fish out all your chilies, and make sure that you're blending all of them. And the bay leaves, you're gonna take them and dash them. You don't need your bay leaves anymore, so you can take all of them. Make sure you're not blending them. Just take them and dash them. And we're gonna add some extra chilies. This is a little bit of a cheat code because we're using the canned ones in the adobo sauce. Really good on flavor, so keep in mind, again, use the type of chili that you feel like using. Blend it all up. So take a little bit of your liquid and add to it to thin it out a little bit, just so it blends and gets nice and creamy in there. You're gonna see a nice beautiful color when this comes out. Then you're gonna take all of that, make sure that you're not making too much of a mess and that you're taking all of it from off of the lid and all of it is nice and in the bottom of it, and pour all of it into your liquid. This is gonna be very orange in color for us, but for you, depending on the type of chilies you use, it might change in color. Once you get all that stirred in, you're gonna let it simmer for another 2 hours as you're stirring occasionally. And then once that's done, you're gonna go ahead and take out all your beef. It should fall off the bone pretty easily at this point, but you want to take all of it out. Your sauce is gonna get dark and richer in color and also very strong in flavor. It's gonna be amazing. This is basically what your sauce is. Your sauce is pretty much done at this point. So what you're gonna do is you're taking out all of your pieces. You're making sure you're straining or using a strainer or a slotted spoon like we are to get everything out. Keep in mind though that if you like it chunky and thick, you may not want to strain it, but if you like it thin, then yeah, go ahead and strain that out. Your gravy is pretty much done. You want to go ahead and take the meat right off of the bones. Clean them as much as possible, and then you're gonna break apart your meat. Usually they say you put on gloves and you break it apart with your hands or 2 forks, but the beef is so soft that you just need to play with it a little bit with the tongs and they'll fall apart. Look how beautiful the beef is. It's just nice, juicy, falls apart like with ease. You got a little bit of the fat in there still. Okay, yeah, so now that's all broken up. You want to make sure that you don't really have too many big pieces in there because they're going in tacos, right? So now you're gonna start by making your tacos. So in the skillet, make sure it's nice and hot. You're gonna dip your taco shell in your sauce. You're gonna go ahead and take that, make sure it's not dripping too much, and put it right into the pan. You're gonna hear that nice sizzle. If you don't hear the sizzle, you didn't do it right. You gotta start all over again. So once you hear that sizzle, you let it crisp up a little bit. You want to add your cheese, slap on some of the meat. Don't put too much. Remember, this is a taco. You're gonna fold it, and it's gonna be nice, nice enough to dip. So make sure that you're not putting too much meat. Add in some of your sauce, and let that cook on the outside. What's happening right now is that it's gonna start to stick a little bit, but it's building a nice crust on your taco. So when you are ready, think about like a minute, not even. You want to go ahead and give it a fold, and you're gonna realize it's a little bit hard to scrape off. And I think using a corn tortilla might be a little bit easier with this, or putting a little bit, or using a more fattier meat could help as well. But it worked either way with ours, so it was no problem. We just let it cook, and you're gonna get a nice color on the outside. Once it cooks nicely on both sides, you're gonna take it out. The cheese is gonna be nice and melted. The meat's gonna be very hot. It's just amazing. Right now, it's pretty much done. So you're gonna go ahead and do it again. I'm gonna show you again. So you're gonna dip it, right? Make sure all of it is covered in that sauce. You're gonna pan sear it, and you're gonna add in your cheese right away, and your meat right away. Take in that cheese. Add in as much of this cheese as you want. You want to make love to this dish at this point. You're making sweet love to it. You're gonna add in all your meat. Don't put too much, because you want to be able to fold it. You want it to fold nice. It will stick a little bit, so keep that in mind too. But you want to build a nice color on both sides. And when it's done, and this is the finished product. Turned out really well. You got 3 tacos each. Use up almost all of the beef. Still wolipa sauce left over, so we're storing that, putting that away. Made a little bit of a salad to go with it too. And now is the moment of truth. Look at that. Oh my goodness, this was so good. You want to have a salad with this or something, because this is very heavy and it'll put you to sleep easily. Oh, and don't forget, guys, take some of the sauce and put some in a bowl. You can chop some cilantro and put it on top like we did, and you can put the rest away or store it in the freezer. If you really like this video, guys, give me a thumbs up. Comment, let me know what you guys did, if you guys tried this dish out too. And please subscribe. Scroll down to the bottom right now and just hit subscribe. Go ahead, go, do it. Scroll down right now and subscribe. Thank you.